let's go and let me take down the pre-show. Killing the mic, and here comes the intro. Guys, come on, I'm trying to start my show. Guys, no, come on, stop! Alright, that's it. I'm starting the show.
Damn it.
This show is not for kids. This show is about chaos and talking over coffee. So let's get going. Call me the DarkTranny. Hey guys, we're back on a Monday. I've been enjoying a good, interesting set of topics and conversations in the pre-show show. And I'd like to start off by, if you look, you'll see that I've got Beach Dub Revolution playing right now. Beach Dub Revolution was put together by the King of Casual on Odysee. And I'll be dropping his link into the chat. We were having discussions about copyright and how even if you're not intentionally distributing other people's art, YouTube has an issue with that. So I looked over here because one of our wonderful community friends put in the copyright link. I forgot who put that in there, but it does allow libraries and archives to make copies for preservation purposes. I identify as a library, and I certify myself as an archivist. So thank you very much, copyright law. And YouTube, if I had a dick, you know what to do with it, but you could lick this little void area that is currently there. So let's see. I would like to say good morning. I don't know who I'm saying good morning to because this damn chat keeps on scrolling up. But currently I see Cam Killer, I see Pitbull Doorbell, good morning. I believe 2 minutes to midnight is here. I'd like to say good morning. 2 minutes. Cali Girl is here. Let's see, I believe the Gray Man is here, some guy from Maine. Let's see, Cali Girl, did I already mention you, Cali Girl? Well, if I haven't mentioned Cali Girl, all right, Cali Girl is here. And who else is here? If you guys sound off in the chat, I will do a salutation. The coffee is still kicking in. Let me see if I can go on over here. I want to also do a plug for 2 Minute. Now, some of you may not know 2 Minute outside of Odysee. In Odysee, and in particular in our community, 2 Minute provides some very interesting takes on events and such in a VR format. Very creative. Hats off to 2 Minutes for the work 2 Minute does. Oh, I see in your most recent one, it looks like you've got a feature which has an excerpt from, was it Running Gen or Barefoot Gen? I think it was Running Gen.
Yeah, Barefoot Gen.
Barefoot Gen. Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, you're here. That movie was very powerful. It recounts the dropping of the bomb, I believe. Well, it was in Japan, and I forget whether it was Osaka or Nagasaki.
Nagasaki
Osaka,
and
Hiroshima.
in Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Yep. That's correct.
And it is a story about a family's, more precisely, two brothers, as they are making their way through a post-nuclear Japan. Very powerful piece. Memorable.
Yep.
So, let us see. Now, where? Now that I've identified as an archivist in a library, we have King of Casual playing in the background, and this. Shall we? Let's see. Where do we begin? Do we begin with Planned Parenthood? Why not? You guys ready to see some shit? One moment while I look for how common. I just want to start with this. How common is intersex? Why am I going to talk about this on a Monday? Oh. Shoot. Someone else's name came to mind and then it evaporated because I'm still waking up. Yesterday I had a wine hangover from a Saturday soiree which was highly surprising because I thought it was going to be a virtue signal event. It ended up that people were very based at this event, and a lot of them wanted to get things off their chest. And at a certain point, well, I won't go into it because they might be watching, but
I guess you got to validate them all, right?
I think I don't know if anyone was validated. I feel that it was a mix of Democratic, Republican, and a variety of other political leanings, and we discovered we all have common interests. We have common interests in our culture, we have common interests in family, and the future generations of this planet. We found common ground, and that was excellent.
Church.
And, well, church, depending on like whom. Some people were atheists, some were Catholics, some were Jewish, and some were Christian. It was an interesting evening. I wish I would have gotten it recorded. And let's see, so intersex here. Now, I'm not going to do an exhaustive read. However, from this abstract, we can see that one study is saying that only 0.018 of the population is intersex. Another study from Boston Sterling shows that the estimate is 1.7% of intersex individuals living on the planet. I have to say, I've been sexually active. I have never been with an intersex individual. I have been around, and this is not a brag. This is just part of the condition of my upbringing. I have never met someone. I met one hermaphrodite. In my whole entire life, I've only met one hermaphrodite. So it brings me to this. Let's see. Where did I put that tab? Here. Where is that Planned Parenthood tab?
I just want to say, too, I live in California, and I've been here for a long time, and I'm near San Francisco, and I've met a lot of people from all over the world, and no one's ever told me that they had both genitals.
And you'd think in California that would be the place to find out.
You would think I would have at least one. Go ahead.
Okay, watch this shit, guys. Okay. Just listen closely, and it even has subtitles. Listen closely.
There's no one-size-fits-all puberty experience. If you're trans, intersex, or non-binary, know that you're not the only one feeling confused. For some intersex people, puberty may start later than age 14. You might experience some of puberty's changes and not others, and your body may or may not go through puberty on its own. There are medicines you can take to help your body start the process, like hormone replacement therapy. Some people decide on hormones or surgeries to help their bodies match up to their gender identity, or how they feel inside about themselves. Your gender identity is real. You should be the one to decide what changes you want to make to your body. If you're transgender or non-binary, you may find that your puberty experiences don't line up with your gender identity, or how you see yourself. That feeling can be uncomfortable, scary, and stressful. If that sounds like you, know that you're not alone. There are medicines you can take to delay puberty for a while. They're called puberty blockers, and they work like a stop sign by halting the hormones testosterone and estrogen that cause puberty changes like facial hair growth and periods. Puberty blockers are safe and can give you more time to figure out what feels right for you, your body, and your gender identity. You don't have to have all of the answers right now. So remember, it's all a work in progress, and it may take time to figure out what feels right to you, but talking to a trusted adult and a nurse or doctor may help. Want to learn more? Go to PlannedParenthood.org/teens.
No.
Okay. Can we point out, would anyone like to point out some issues in this Planned Parenthood PSA which they noticed while watching this?
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, as always, Planned Parenthood is a eugenics foundation, so therefore it's all about trying to brainwash the masses into thinking that puberty is bad, and it's population control. That's all it is. It's a form of population control. But hearing them talk about how these medicines are safe and everything's going to be rainbows and unicorns is not the complete truth, and that's the thing. They're just trying to sell and cater to these people that obviously have problems and issues, and giving them a magic pill solution to all their problems. When a lot of it is a lot of the problems are psychological, and there's no pill to answer these questions. To say.
So can I just expound on that? So what he said was psychological, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce anybody. It's not my intention or
Don't
whatever.
care.
It's not. It's not biological. It's psychological. That was the first thing I noticed. Gender is psychological. It's not biological. Biological, there's male and female. Period. 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 That was the other thing I noticed. We're promoting it as something to me in my girl thing. Oh, it will stop my periods, or it'll slow down my periods. Like, oh, okay, I don't want to start my period yet. I don't want to be on that period thing for, till I'm 21 or till I'm ready to have kids. So let's use gender blocker, or let's use puberty blockers. They're marketing it as more than what it is, which is they do that for all medications. Okay, sorry, go on.
No, you're definitely adding into the conversation. That's what I'm looking for here. Is this kind of analysis of what the fuck did they just tell the public?
It's catering to a small population. And the thing that kind of gets to me is that they're trying to make like the whole LGBT community into like some kind of widespread phenomena, kind of like to where like it's a small group of people, but because now it's becoming a fad to be a transgender person or whatever, people are gonna there's gonna be individuals out there that are gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna try to venture into hormone blockers to delay my puberty or whatever. When there are actual medical reasonings to take, for example, hormone blockers to prevent pregnancy, right? So two of the most common ones for females is the Depo shot, and there's a new one that the females can insert inside. It's like an implant where they can put a rod inside their upper arm, and it prevent them from it'll delay their periods for a prolonged period of time, and prevent them from having birth. And the medical uses for these things are to one, if some females have like very long hemorrhages when they have periods.
Yes.
So that's the medical use for these puberty blockers for those abnormalities that are very common nowadays because of what we eat and the shit they put in our water and all that stuff.
And they also come with side effects, which are often glossed over. The Depo shot, I forget the name of the implant you were speaking of. They all come with a certain amount of
there's
risk.
pills too, but there's like pills, there's a rod, the implant, and there's a shot.
Yeah, and they all come with side effects.
They all have, and everything has a side effect. Not every medication is perfect. You can get there's side effects from Tylenol. Some people are sensitive to Tylenol. But those are very few and rare, to the point to where you can just get it over the counter. But with these medications, obviously you need to go talk to an actual medical provider and seek that kind of attention. Which I'm glad that they talk about like, oh, talk to your doctor and talk to your physician about these things, and that's a good start. However, some doctors are just out there for the money and they just want to sell you shit that you really don't need. When there's a biologic, like an actual I would say natural biological way of dealing with your problems, and it all comes. I have a theory that I'm trying to figure out, or I'm gonna see if my theory is correct. But for example, one of these I've noticed that patients or Asian Americans that eat an American diet have a lot of issues when it comes to their periods. So, and it has to do with what Asians actually eat in their natural habit, or like in their natural population area, right? So like Korea, Japan, Taiwan, China, they have a very soy-rich diet, and that is because that's what they eat. But when you have an Asian American that eats a bunch of red meat and yogurt, they have issues. Especially females have like high testosterone levels, so it has to do with dietary stuff as well. So I'm thinking about doing a research paper on this, and then I'm gonna find out if my theory is correct. Because I already found somebody that I know personally that has high testosterone, not a whole lot of periods, and it's causing her issues. and I'm thinking this partly has to do with the diet because she completely stopped eating soy, and that's something that female Asian girls like. They all eat that stuff. It's tofu, the soy sauce, all the soy stuff. It's in their products. It's something they need.
And this is something I would like to point out. In our communities, we do ask questions. We do ask and do research. This right here, this is coming from Planned Parenthood. What we are told is that these people are experts and professionals in this field. I want to point your attention, whoever's watching, to what this blurb right here says. It says to these young people, and it's marketed to intersex people. I don't think young people are going to understand that this is marketed to intersex because it looks like it's marketed to teens. Because to a teenager, is a teenager going to pick up, oh, this is for intersex? It says you don't have to have all the answers right now. Well, let's work under the premise that this is solely for intersex population. Why wouldn't the intersex people need to have all the information before they make this decision?
I mean, where was the commercial played? Was it played on television?
It was well. I saw it, and Tubi is where I saw
Yeah.
the commercial, and then I went to the Planned Parenthood site and actually found the commercial in. Let's see, it was in the Planned Parenthood, and it was somebody in here. I mean, let's just, for a moment, let me just segue to Planned Parenthood, and let me see what took me down this. See all topics. Planned
I've
Parenthood.
actually been to Planned Parenthood. I've been in a Planned Parenthood a couple times with clients and for myself.
Planned Parenthood has expanded their services to gender identity. Why?
Money.
Well, let me look at this part right here. Let me go back over to this. This part, you don't have to have all the answers. I think that's pretty fucked up. And then this one. So remember, it's not you or your situation. It's all a work in progress. We really don't have a roadmap. We're experimenting on you. I translate that as you're our guinea pig. Please come to Planned Parenthood and let us fuck with you a little bit because we want to find things out. The commercial could not be more blunt. So you're all a work in progress, and it may take time to figure out what feels right for you. But what did they precede this with? Look, there are medicines you can take to delay puberty for a while. They're called puberty blockers, and they work like a stop sign. And then they stop testosterone and estrogen, like facial hair and periods. Puberty blockers are safe, and this isn't proven, and they can give you more time to figure out what feels right for you. Well, how much time is that going to take? And since we don't know the long-term side effects of blocking puberty, how do they know it's safe? For your body and your gender identity. I must say, it's a pretty radical approach to a fantasy in one's head. It's like, while you're having these thoughts of your identity, these people are promoting that you put substances into your body which have real-world effects while you're figuring it out, as a 14-year-old, as a 15-year-old. Because, 14 and 15-year-olds they just have all the answers, and they'll have, and I'll tell you how this is going to work. Those young ones, those teens, they're going to have a group of gender-affirming care providers around them who are going to validate every fantasy in that kid's head. Through positive reinforcement and dopamine hits, these children are going to be violated. And let me just look at that. But talking to a trusted adult and a nurse or doctor may help at Planned Parenthood. Oh, it's going to help you. They don't have all the answers. Now remember, talking to these people, you're a work in progress, and you don't have to have all the answers right now. So please, talk to a trusted adult. But who are the trusted adults? And the nurse or doctor, where? To what capacity? And haven't we seen medical professionals who are antithetical, am I using that word correctly, to this current gender-affirming narrative? How does the mainstream frame these individuals? Just points to consider. These videos are not made for kids, they're made for adults and parents. And if there are adults and or parents watching this and you're considering doing this, or if you know a child who is going to be starting on this, I would implore you to act as an advocate for maybe pump the brakes a bit and actually look at what you're about to do. Because in the end, we currently have a lot of people detransitioning. And if you want to talk about like suicide rates, as is often used, we have to transition these kids so they don't, end their lives. Go take a look at the data of what happened after a child or an adult are diagnosed with what used to be called gender dysphoria before they took that off the DSM, and go check out the aftermath. Just do some research. That's all I'm saying. Does anyone else have anything to say on this topic before I move on?
Yes.
Maine?
Yes. I have a question for you.
Yes, let me turn up the volume. What's
Turn
up?
up the volume. Turn up the volume.
Dance. Yes, okay.
So, just to clarify, you no longer have your God-given birth parts, correct?
I do not.
All right. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
After the process happened and you first came to and woke up, or I'm assuming you were knocked out. I don't imagine you were awake for this.
It was a multi process, by the way. There were several. It wasn't all done at one time. It's
okay. So
several procedures.
The first time that you looked down and no longer saw what you had seen your entire life, how did that make you feel? Like emotionally or mentally or whatever?
Well, when I looked down, it was a wad of bandages and absorbent rags. For the first one, it was the orchiectomy, and that was when I looked and saw like all the bandaging, and I could feel the pain. I was like, well, I've done it. It was like my immediate thing was like, okay, let me remember how this was. Because I was partially awake during it. It's like I like to stay awake during my surgeries because I want to stay conscious. But I'm in a lucid state. And then they do like the local, and I can watch through the reflection of the lights that are above. Whenever you're having surgery, and if you're awake for a surgery, you can often get a glimpse of what the procedure is, how it's progressing, by looking at the reflections. I felt like I didn't feel gender affirmed. I felt like I had just gone through a procedure and I was in a mindset of, well, this is supposed to make me happy. I am told that this is what is going to correct whatever psychological issues I am experiencing. This should remedy depression and anxiety, and this should help me become the person who they are telling me I really am. And so I said, okay, this milestone has been reached. That's what I kind of felt, aside from I hope this doesn't get infected. Because when I saw the amount of body sauce coming out and soaking these bandages, I was like, I hope I stop hemorrhaging. This really hurts. And that's kind of what I from my memory, that's what my first memories were after the orchiectomy. Does that answer your question?
I was just kind of, yeah. I mean, I was more or less wondering, was your first thought, what the fuck did I do? Was your first thought, holy shit, I don't have my ding dong anymore?
Well,
you know?
Well, the first one had nothing to do with the penis. So the first one was just the testes and a scrotal, like whatever they did. It was, my first thoughts were, well, I can't go back. It's like, it is done. And I didn't feel better. I didn't feel a sense of relief. I felt a sense of, there's no going back. It's like, you have committed. And I mean, from a comical sense, I asked, like, well, where are my testes? And they're like, oh, those aren't yours anymore, and they've been taken to the lab. And then from the lab, I imagine they go to the incinerator. It's like, but being told, oh, those aren't yours anymore. It's like,
oh my god.
Is that technically roasted nuts?
Well, I think it would be more like overcooked ham, I imagine. Maine. Happy Monday. God. All right, anything more on the Planned Parenthood aspect of this? All right, I'm going to look at the chats and see what you guys have been talking about. All right.
I had a quick video, if you didn't mind sharing it. It's only like a minute long.
I don't mind if you want to drop it into the Odysee, and I'll bring it up. Let me just look at these chats. Okay, good morning, Atomic Blonde. And yes, let's see. It's seriously animal abuse when they are pushed to neuter or fix the dog under 2 years old. Atomic Blonde, yes. I believe last week you had brought up the veterinary sciences regarding the spaying or neutering of animals. And some people do it at the wrong time in an animal's development. Cat, dog, like what have you. And you speak of the things like the hip dysplasia in dogs. It's true if you don't allow animals to mature to a certain point before you remove their hormonal fuck it. You know what I'm trying to say. That hormonal balance of any living creature. You mess with the hormones and you affect their systems, their skeletal structure, their joints. This is all interconnected. Hormones are very important. So yes, Atomic Blonde makes a wonderful point. Same goes with people. Well, it's anything which produces hormones. Don't mess with hormones unless there's a pre-existing imbalance. These people do no one favors by taking healthy bodies and then altering them, making them dependent on pharmacology for the rest of their lives. Maine, I see the link you have dropped. And then 2 minutes had to go. 2 minutes if you happen to see this.
Can I share a tip?
Yes.
Just a tip. I don't know. You can use this if you want or whatever. Do whatever you want. But on Odysee, you see to the right of, or in the chat, you see that little gear, the settings gear?
Yes.
On the chat screen?
Yes.
There's an option in there to put timestamps on when people posted the comment. I don't know if that'll help or not, but sometimes, like, if you haven't been to the chat in a few minutes and then you go over there, you see some stuff, but like those comments were actually put there like 5 minutes ago. So they don't apply to what you're currently saying anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Where is that under?
So on the chat box on the
On the
left hand
chat
side,
box. Okay, one moment. Let me go over there. Okay,
right next to your tips on the chat box,
yes.
says timestamps.
Enable toggle timestamps. Oh, there we go. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'm done. I'm
All
done.
right.
Thanks.
Yeah, and thank you. And Atomic, I tried to lower the background music, but it only goes in percentages of like 2. So currently I've muted the background sound, but for those of you who were interested, that is King of Casual and his beach dub. I do enjoy playing the music in the background, and Atomic, by no means do I consider that rude. What you requested, I get it. I will try to figure out how to I someone may teach me how to actually mix the sound properly, because I know that it's more than just a browser thing. Through OBS, the OBS software I use, I believe I can actually affect each track of sound differently, but I haven't learned that. But I will learn that because I get it. I totally get it. And for some reason now, OBS is disconnecting and reconnecting. So we'll see if the stream is still going. All right. So no harm. No harm whatsoever. Let's see. Mark dice. Oh, let's see. Let's go find out. Let me copy and paste that over this. Let me close Mark Dice on the other tab. Am I still streaming? I don't know. Let's go check
Yeah.
OBS. All right, it
You're
appears.
good.
Pardon?
I said you're good in the Jitsi, and then here comes. I'm getting a little round circle, but oh no, here we go.
Well, hopefully it has come back up. All right, let us go and play. Let me reduce this just a bit. Ugh, why technology? Why must you? How does the scroll bar work over here? There we go. Now let me just center that. All right, mic off, and here we go.
Hold on. Whoa. What the fuck? What is wrong with y'all? Take y'all's asses home. It's over a fucking chocolate bar. What, bitch? Little ass bitch. Go home. Thank you for the candy. Fuck you mean? Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
Well, shit. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Lady Ninja. And again, Atomic Blonde, hugs, honey. Hugs. Girl, we're good. Don't worry about it. All right, because it's going to offer me an opportunity to learn. What the fuck over a chocolate bar? And it's so stupid. At a Hooters? That is supposed to be in Plano, Texas? I'm pretty sure when I've gone to a Hooters, it clearly says, no shoes, no shirt, no service. I'm not trying to be funny, but come on, guys. This is just sick. And now, come on. Our youth... Okay, I'm going to drop the comedy and just be serious for a moment. This is no way to act, guys. Shit. You know what, parents? I'm not promoting corporal punishment as a method of causing abuse. I am saying this. Oh, and you know what? There probably aren't any parents left. What's this background noise? Okay.
I don't know. They get nice clothes and shoes on, so somebody's funding that whole posse.
Okay, and this is not racist, or someone didn't actually provide, and these are 5-finger discount merch things. I mean, it's like, is this how we get dressed now? We go out in the morning and maybe, I don't know, steal some shoes, steal some shorts, and I'll get back to Target Boutique and steal myself a top. Somebody's having a nice cup of tea in the morning. I hear.
It's the culture.
Yes. Well, it
It
should be a
is.
culture. It should be a culture,
But it
though.
is.
And
It
it's
is though.
well, it shouldn't be because
No.
this is not the way things used to be, except in very, I mean, the government
It's third
had
world.
it it existed when I was younger only in areas where the government had brought in way too much assistance. Like the government disenfranchised what is it? What is the word? Encouraged people to rely on the government. It this is this is not this should not be normal ever.
They're just future astronauts and scientists. That's all.
Who wants this future for themselves? If these kids were to actually look at what they're doing and understand that this is not the history we come from, that what they're doing is they are setting the precedent for how their future is going to unfold. If they could take a moment over a fucking candy bar, they are causing bodily harm over a fucking candy bar. And I'm getting a little feedback here. So, if anyone is currently transmitting, just for the moment when you're not talking, if you could mute the mic for just a moment, because that's the feedback. Thank you. Thank you. Over a candy bar, guys? Really? They don't give a fuck, Laura says. They should, though. Because where are they going to go? Where are they going to go after coming up like this, coming up in the world, after promoting this kind of societal decline? Where are you going to go? You have to live in the shit. It's called you don't shit where you eat. It's called you make your bed. This is what you will lie in. Kids, young ones, young adults, people in their 20s, understand this. If you continue to live like this, it doesn't get better. Nothing is going to get solved. And the government will come in. You want martial law? Is that what you want, young ones? Is that what you want? You want the government deciding your every move? Because that's where we're headed to. And I think this might be by design. I mean, the fracture of the family system, the idea of the government stepping in and saying that a parent cannot discipline a child because any amount of discipline to a child is tantamount to child abuse. The governments, which are currently infecting society with this degradation, and it's not a skin color thing, it is a cultural thing, but it's not a culture of color. It's a culture of stupidity.
Well, I got to disagree with you there.
Well, please add.
So maybe I don't recall so well, but I don't remember seeing 5 videos a day every single day for the last 2 straight years of what you just played on your screen.
I
I
don't
don't remember
know.
seeing that like a couple of years prior. I remember seeing those videos for the last 2 years straight ever since George Floyd, and ever since everything on TV is fuck the white man, and everything on MSM is fuck the white man, and everything on sports is fuck the white man, and everything in music is fuck the white man.
Yes.
It's just been pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped for 2 straight years, and well, here's the end result.
Okay. From that set of statements, I can say I see the marketing to a certain ethnicity, which is black people. I do see that. I want to say historically, this isn't how I was brought up. This is new. This if I'm understanding you correctly, it is predominantly dark-skinned individuals typically who are identified as African American is what we are seeing. I believe that there is a direct, targeted marketing campaign to promote the idea of victimization within these groups of people who are referred to as the community. That's what I see in the mainstream, is that black people are referred to as the community. Am I on base or following along with the statements you just made?
I think, sure.
Well,
Here's an issue. I just want to say, academically, so feminism brought us a lot of Marxism and the feminist perspective. I guess Marxism brought the feminist perspective is what happened. And then the feminist perspective said that you can't analyze me because A, B, or C. You're not a woman. You're not trans. You're not my skin color. You don't have the same hair as I do. So you can't analyze these things. I'm going to analyze them. Okay, that's what I got out of the feminist perspective. Yes, I read the book. So I can't speak for you, which was really hard for me because I work with disabled people, some of which cannot speak or cannot see, cannot hear. So that was a problem for me. Who's going to talk for them? They can talk for themselves, though. They know how to communicate. They obviously, if you're not born a certain way, and even if you are born a certain way and you're born into a good family, you are going to thrive. Nurture versus nature. So, so is this their nature, or are they being nurtured to do these things? I don't know where it started, but constantly saying that white is bad, white is bad, white is bad. That's not helping the situation. That's pointing a finger at somebody else to excuse your own behavior.
and it does someone, let's see, who made the comment? This isn't Lady Ninja. This isn't coming from the other side in any way. It's more than one side. It seems to be only one aspect of our society, because from my perspective, there is no one side against the other. It's just simply we have a group of people who are very vocal to the rest of us who are just trying. You can't see my hand, but I'm doing this like global thing with my hand over here off camera. The rest of us on this planet, who are incredibly diverse, don't give a fuck about people's skin color or any of this stuff. It's coming from it in my assessment, it's not a side as much as it is a very vocal group who are trying to divide the rest of us. And we come from many different points of view, but we've gotten along. It's this one segment of individuals, and they're clearly not living in these neighborhoods being affected by this shit, who are sadistically pumping out this propaganda to rile people up. And to what end? I think we're seeing it. I could articulate it in flames and blood and screams. We can see what's happening. The people pushing this shit, it's time for them to be silenced with a counter talk. Call them out on their bullshit. None of this has to be violent, in my opinion. Speak common sense. Speak from a healthy point of view that fighting over a fucking candy bar is stupid. Maybe add a little shame. Maybe add a little moment to where people can stop and do a self-assessment and say, what the fuck am I doing? How is this going to help me in my life?
So Laura made a comment
Yes.
in the Odysee chat. she was quoting Salty, something along the lines of, it's not that I, what is it? It's not that I want to just keep showing black people doing all this shit. It's just that that's all there is, or
It
something like, you
appears
know,
to be.
if there's videos of white people acting like this, feel free to forward it to me. I'll gladly show it. I just don't have any.
I have watched Salty Cracker's media when I can, and I have heard him say this on numerous streams before he goes and cuts off YouTube because YouTube is asshole. I have heard Salty Cracker. I have seen the body of his work, and it is absolutely true. And who brings the receipts of this happening from any other ethnicity? They are existent and at the same time non-existent because the frequency of the darker skinned individuals is promoted and promoted. And I know if it were other skin colors and ethnicities doing anything like this, it would be all over the news. Where is it? And I get
It's
Yeah.
it.
hidden.
I get it.
It's to-
Where
it's
is
totally,
it?
It's totally crazy because I have a lot of thoughts coming in my head. Axe does the same thing as what Salty does. Is that send me the pictures of the white folks doing this shit, and you won't see it because what happens is the two strongest males are at the bar and they're gonna settle it for the whole community.
Thank you. Like when men were men and men were men, and it was promoted that masculinity was a good thing.
Yeah,
It's like
I didn't ever have to fight a battle if somebody knew who was in charge of me and my clan.
that's just it. We used
I'm
to
talking
police
about
our
California.
we would police our own. I remember growing up, you didn't have this kind of shit happening in your town. It's like if somebody tried to pull this shit, the men would go and the women would settle it amongst the women. Oh my lord. It's like if a woman got into a mindset where she got like a little fucked up and started fucking around in the community, or if a man got a little fucked up in the head and started fucking with the community, either the men would go take care of the men or the women would go take care of the woman. And they would straighten that shit out right quick. It didn't involve all this government intervention and drama. We just took care of shit back then. And no one had to
Yeah, but
die.
now,
No one had to die. You got your ass
And
beat.
now
no one calls the police either. It's
Yeah.
like the last thing you want to do is call the police and get the government involved in your shit, and
Yeah,
then
you
they're
didn't
gonna
need
come in and do whatever they want to fucking do with your shit. No,
Yeah.
nobody wants that.
You got your
No.
ass whooped. You learned your lesson. You fuck around. You found out, and you moved on. It was that easy.
well, that's the problem now. Is, do you see videos of these fights where it's one-on-one?
No, it's always groups. It's always
It's
a group
always
on one.
It's always, like you were saying, the man trying to settle a situation with another man,
Uh-huh.
and then that man starts to win the battle, and his goons jump in. The guy that's losing, his
Yeah.
goons jump in and just head stomp the other guy into death.
Cowards.
And they didn't win the fight. They
Nothing-
still lost the fight.
Yeah, nothing
The other
settled.
dude won the fight. The dude that got stomped to death, which is freaking bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Fighting. It's ridiculous. This is third world country shit. Like whoever said, there was a couple people that said that we don't do this shit in America. And if you're doing that shit, you're undereducated. You're a fucking loser, and you're no good to society. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to go to jail. And if you're a juvenile and you're going to get in jail, they're going to find out whatever the fuck is wrong with you because they want to charge more and more and more and more money to incarcerate you. They want to incarcerate these guys. They are volunteering themselves for jail.
Mm-hmm. That's something I told my stepson. I was like, you never want to be in the system. And that dumbass went and put his crimes on Instagram. Next thing you know, he's in, like, getting picked up. Now he's in the system. He's only, like, what, 20 some odd years old, young 20s, white, You know, it's like, and now he's in the fucking system. Hello, gay twinkle.
Yeah, that they want to. It's just like the hospitals want to process you. The police station wants to process you, but now it's getting to the point where the police station don't even want to do their job because it's
Ah.
just there's no cooperation. You know, when the two white dudes fought it out in the bar back in the day, you know, the police were coming, and both might get arrested, and they're done fighting. They're going to go with the police. They're not going to fight the police. They're just going to go and get processed, and then someone's going to come bail them out or whatever, or they're going to sit their night in jail. If they have priors, they're going to do whatever they have to do, and they're not going to fight. They're done with the fight. The fight is over.
Well, let me just wrap this up real quick because I'm basically taking over your show, and sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's a community thing. Go on.
So, if you think of the last 2 years, which is easy to forget some of the stuff that's happened in the last 2 years because there's fucking 8,000 things happening every minute of every day.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think of the weaponization of white man bad in the past 2 years between the fallout from George Floyd and all the other various black men who were not doing nothing, who got shot or tased or beat or whatever by the cops because they were, well, breaking the law. And you think of all the media that's pushed white man bad, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and all them saying constantly that the greatest threat to our country is white supremacy and white supremacy and white supremacy and white. I don't see any proof of white supremacy anywhere. They never come with any receipts. They never show any facts or anything of this so-called white supremacy that plagues the country. And the only thing I consistently see are the videos that we were just describing. And then you go and you have these Democrat-run shitholes that lower the bail or no bail or whatever the fuck they do. They allow drugs. They allow all these smash and grab burglaries, which we've all seen the videos of who those people are that are committing all these smash and grab robberies, and it's not fucking white supremacy. So look at what just happened. You told everybody for 2 years that it's the white man. You dropped bail and dropped charging people with crimes and shit, and let people take over cities and fucking all these Chad and Chop and all Chad, whatever the fuck, all this crap.
Yes.
You let people run rampant for 2 years, and here we are. We got people attacking white people constantly because they were told for 2 years that we're the fucking evil man and that we're all racists and we're all this and that. And you have crime through the fucking roof.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weaponization against white men, specifically white men.
Systematic destruction from within.
That's my take, and I'm done. Thank you.
And thank you. The thing I noticed during that 2 year period and having, like, you know, and it's still continuing because it got ramped up. Before we left Minneapolis, it was the white people. There were a lot of white criminals getting all, like, they took advantage of it too. It's this culture of trash. I mean, it's trash culture. And it can infect anyone, or maybe it's something we can, like, look at tomorrow when we have, like, more of an extended show, because in a few minutes we do have 45-1 Actuals Big Dick Energy Brigade radio show coming up. But maybe tomorrow I can, like, make a show note and we can actually do more of a dive into this aspect of the decay of our society and just talk about how are we going to deal with it, because we're going to have to deal with this shit. It's happened. And where do we go from here?
The one bad apple.
The one bad apple, really, if you look at it for the population of the planet, and you see that none of this is unique to any one given demographic, that it's happening everywhere all at once. We're going to have to deal with it, because if we don't address this, if we don't actually do something about this, And we can't let the government take control, because if the government takes control, we're fucked. We need to remember who the fuck we are in each one of our nations, and what we were brought up on, and what we actually stand for. Because right now, someone, somewhere, something is trying to erase the common sense aspect of who we once were. And I still have a piece of that in me. And I know that people in our community in the Reach, and we're not just one community, there are a bunch of communities which are very similar to this community. We still have pieces of common sense and rationale within us. And it's a matter, I know that they want us to act violently. I know that they want us to act as crazy as they are. I will not lose my mind over this, because now is not the time to have an unhinged reaction. We need to fix this shit, though. So let's see, how much do we have left? We've got about 4 minutes, so let me do some closings, some promos. Axe Truth is going to be doing a replay in about 1 hour. So he'll be on. DJ Brandrak is going live with a set in about 5 hours on his channel. Remember, up in the pinned comments of the Odysee chat, you can find the guide created by Rugaru and MBB. Let me see. I'll look at the chats one last time before we take off. Salty Bitch, good morning. And let's see. Gene Pool gonna need a bit of bleach. Yes, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I pray everybody has a great day today.
Yes.
You as well.
Yes, thank you for waking up with everyone. I mean, everyone. It's like, thank you very much for making this what it is, everyone, participants and viewers. I'm really happy that we can wake up together, have a little coffee, get some shit off our chests, go on with our day. I hope that this is healthy for everyone involved. I'm going to... Pardon me?
I said, and most importantly, I'm happy we all wake up.
Yeah, I'm happy we all wake up too. No shit.
And thank you for hosting us all.
This is part of life now for some reason. I'm gonna go out there while 45 is playing his 6 hour news. I'm gonna be out there doing yard work with the headphones on. Let's see, y'all giving your exits and stuff. All right, I'm gonna drop 45's link in the chat.
4-5.
4-5. He's starting. Let me drop it in my chat, not his chat. That would be redundant if I dropped it in his chat. Here we go, guys. God bless. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you out there.
See ya.